This video is the third in a series of videos on how to upgrade from a U-Create Web Controller to UOS Codesys. They're all part of a playlist of the same name, so I suggest you watch them in the correct order. So this is the third video, and this video will cover the steps required to actually go online with generic Codesys and download your first project. Actually, before we try and connect to the controller with Codesys development software, it would be a good idea to connect to the controller's internal web server just to check everything's okay. So I'm connecting here to the default IP address of the controller, and you have to log in, and if you remember, you have to create your own credentials. They're not the default admin det mode, they're whatever you created. So you log in. The only app I've got installed is Codesys Control SL at this point in time. So if I go to the UOS Control Center and then go to Apps, and we're automatically in the App Manager, and it says the Codesys Control SL is running. So that all looks healthy. So now I'm happy that we can switch back to Codesys and actually try and connect to the controller. So if I open up my Codesys package and create a new project, and if you notice, I'm using Codesys Sv3.5 SP19, which I would suggest is the minimum you should be using. There are some later versions, but that's perfectly fine, 3.5 SP19. So I'd create a standard project and give it a name. So first connection UC20 WL2000 AC. So we're creating a standard project. The first thing we need to select is the device type. So in Codesys there'll be several products in here by default. These are the Codesys controls for third-party products, but you would have previously had to install Codesys SL package into Codesys, and then that you get access to these products. So I want this one, and I'm going to program in continuous function start. Pick whatever language you prefer. All we're doing at this point is just proving we can get a connection to the device. Okay, if you look down the bottom left of your screen, you can see it's building relationship tables, and this takes a minute or so, so it's creating my device tree structure. Okay, so that's completed. So if we now go online, log in, you need to set what we call an active path to the controller, so say yes to that. It's actually doing a scan, so let's see if it picks up the device. No, it didn't pick it up. So I'm going to type in here the IP address of the controller. That's the default IP. Enter. The mandatory use of the user management is configured for this device, meaning that in order to connect the device, active user management must be available. So we need to activate that, yes. And this is going to ask for your username and password. So we'll keep with what we used in the browser. So it is admin and my password, which will be different to your password. It does say password weak, but I'm not too concerned about that at this point in time. So I'll say keep password and OK. Okay, and now we need to log in with the credentials that we put into the web server in the previous video when we converted from U-Create Web to UOS. So again, it's admin and my password. Your password will be different. Connected PLC uses certificates which are about to expire. Would you like to open this screen? Security screen, so we're going to look at that. Let's do a refresh. Go down to here, create a new certificate. Let's just highlight that again. Create a new certificate instead of the expired selected one on this device. Right, this is probably quite important to you. So this is how long do you want this certificate to remain valid. and the default is 365 days. I think you can put a longer period in, so let's try 3650, 10 years. So let's try that. Okay, so you have to leave it now while it calculates the encryption and generates that certificate. And it looks like it will accept 10 years. So just be aware that those number of days could be critical, because you might install a project and then you'll go to site 14 months later and it's expired. So don't use the default 365 days, extend it. 10 years sounds a good figure. It's up to you. Okay, so that's gone in and it says greater than 1 year. So this one now, I'd say I can click on there and now I can delete it. There's no point having it anymore, is there? That all looks good. So I'll talk about these certificates more in a later video, because if you're using things like OPC UA, you may well need some sort of certificate to ensure extra secure connectivity between the PLC and the OPC device, maybe a HMI. It just makes certificates is just a more secure way of creating a connection between devices, a higher level than just using a username and a password. Okay, so that looks alright now. So if I go back to online and log in, so this is something to bear in mind actually. So because the controller is actually the WL2000, it's actually a PC running Linux operating system with Codesys running on top of it. So I'm not actually online to the PLC side, but I am online to the operating system where I can set up the certification. So there's two sort of layers of connectivity. There's the layer of connectivity to the operating system, and then there's the actual Codesys programming environment. So if I go online and log in, do you want to, an application does not exist on the device, do you want to create it and proceed with the download? Well, there's not really anything here, but it won't do any harm, so I'll say yes. It's an empty PLC, so I'm just downloading a bare bones empty project really. Okay, so we're getting all green lights, everything looks healthy. You get this little warning triangle. Orange warning triangle indicates that I don't actually have any I/O connected either, and the PLC is in stop. So I'm not going to give you a training course in Codesys. To put it into run, you just go up to this top icon here. There you go, it's into run, but there's not actually any POUs or tasks, so nothing's happening at the moment. But I just wanted to show you that's how you connect. So you could then disconnect, go offline, log out, and then you could start creating your project as you would do with any other Codesys system. So hopefully that's made you aware of how you connect to the controller from the first time install of Codesys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.